or water vehicle, and also the response time and response nature of the person driving it. For example, in the case of aviation, the quality and character of the pilot will be very important. In case of highways, definitely the driver, his physical condition, and the condition of the vehicle is very important. In railroads, mostly accidents do occur by means of something going wrong on the rails or on the train. The human error is very rare, but it has happened also, because sometimes the driver sleeping, sometimes the driver not taking care of the signal. This can happen. In maritime case, the nature plays the havoc. In maritime, for example, in shipwreck, which are the main factors? Anybody knows? Can you tell which are the main factors in a shipwreck? Shipwreck means ship accident. Akshay, can you tell me what are the possibilities of a shipwreck? You would have seen the most famous film Titanic. What is the reason for failure of Titanic? It's a disaster. It is one of the biggest maritime disasters so far occurred. Titanic. What was the reason for the Titanic danger? Akshay, can you hear me? Akshay, Akshay, here or not? Yes, yes. Tell me, what was the reason for the shipwreck in Titanic?
Sir, അതവിടെ പേടിച്ചപ്പോ എന്തോ ആയതല്ലേ സാർ?
എന്തിലിടിച്ചതാണ്? എന്തിലാ പേടിച്ചത്?
ഐസിലവിടെ പേടിച്ചു.
Icil, yes, yes. Icil, that is called ice sheet, or we have discussed in the last class, it is called avalanche. Avalanche means ice sheet coming, flowing. That is avalanche. And when the ship was, it is a big iceberg. ചെറുതല്ല, ഒരു huge iceberg ആണ്. ചെറുതിലൊന്നും തട്ടിയ ഷിപ്പ്റക്ക് ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, because ship is so strong. The ship hull is metallic. So if it has to be broken, the ice sheet has to be so strong. And of course, among all the engines which the vehicles are using, the ship engine is the most powerful. Not even railway engine. Ship engine is the most powerful. Anybody knows how much is the horsepower of a ship engine? Any idea? I'm not asking specifically. Anybody knows what will be the ആരുടെയെങ്കിലും relatives Navy or merchant Navy work ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ? Anybody's relatives working in Navy or merchant Navy? ഉണ്ടോ? ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മുന്നോട്ട് വരൂ. Tell me how much will be the power of a ship engine? No idea. Ship engine is very powerful. It can go up to 5,000 to 20,000 horsepower. Normally, how much will be the capacity of a car engine? Most of you are having car at home. ഒരു കാർ എഞ്ചിന്റെ ഹോഴ്സ് പവർ എത്ര ഉണ്ടാവും? അജയ് പ്രകാശ് നായർ, any idea how much will be the power of a car engine? No idea. Aditya, any idea how much will be a car engine? How much will be the power of a car engine? ഒരു കാറിന്റെ എഞ്ചിൻ എത്ര പവർ ഉണ്ടാവും?
I'm not sure, sir.
No idea.
No, sir.
Driving license ഉള്ള ആരുണ്ട് ഇതില്? Anyone who is having car driving license? No one is there. I think you are not revealing. Many of you will be having car because you are all now 20 plus. So you must definitely, many of you will be having the car driving license. Okay. The car engine power may vary from 1 to 10 horsepower, depending on the capacity of the engine, depending on what is the cubic capacity, cc. Car cc normally ranges from 750 cc to 2000 cc. That is the volume of the cylinder, car cylinder and piston, So it may vary from 750 cc to 2000 cc, very rarely above 2000 cc. but very powerful engines are there about 2000 cc. But even in that case, the car engine capacity, the power of a car engine may vary only from 1 horsepower to maximum 10 horsepower, not beyond that. Whereas the horsepower of the ship engine may be from 5,000 to 20,000 horsepower. See, so how many multiple cities? Of course, the rail engine and the aviation, that is the flight engine, do stand in between. And what are the risks we can have in aviation? What are the dangers or disasters we can have in aviation with an aeroplane? Aviation means either aeroplane or helicopter, or even it can be supersonic, doesn't matter. But anyway, aeroplane or helicopter. What are the danger or disaster we can have with these things? Let me see. Agash Shastri, what are the disasters possible in aviation? You have, yes. Tell me.
Sir, crash.
Yes, crash. Crash can be due to different reasons. Engine failure can be there. A bird hitting the aeroplane also can cause danger. Once it has happened that a bird has hit the wing of an aeroplane and the aeroplane crashed. That is one. Then second one, crash can be there when it is flying. Second one, of course, when taking off and when landing, dangers are imminent. The most dangerous point in a flight is when the aeroplane is landing. Those who have traveled by aeroplane will be knowing that many people do pray when the flight is landing. As the flight is coming down from a very height. Any of you who have traveled by a flight? Anybody who traveled by a flight? Some of you must have gone to your parents in parents abroad or North India or somewhere like that. Anybody who traveled by a flight? No one. Okay. If you don't want to voice, you can even put in the chat box. I'll be seeing that also. If you put in the chat box, I can see that. I can see that if you are putting on the chat box. Anyway, what height normally an aeroplane flies? What height? I think that you can tell even without electronics, people should know it. Computer science we can ignore because at that height the aviation instruments should be working. Let me see whether Anupama is. Can you tell me what height an aeroplane flies? What is the height at which an aeroplane flies?
Sir, not sure.
Pardon? Not sure. Anandu, can you tell me what height an aeroplane flies roughly? I'm checking your knowledge in these things because once you become an engineer, mostly electronics engineers will be deployed for aviation control. In yes, tell me. Somebody was telling something, please tell.
40,000 feet, sir.
Yes, Akshaya also has written 30,000 feet. And who said 40,000 feet?
Sir, Anandu.
Who said 40,000 feet? Name, I couldn't see who said that. Yes, Anandu?
Anandu.
Anandu told, okay. Both of you are right. Normally, the aeroplanes fly around 20,000 feet to 40,000 feet range. So both 30 and 40 are right. This is a normal flying height. It's not the takeoff height and landing height. It is variable. It takes off from zero height and it goes up to this. So our average flying height of an aeroplane is around 10 kilometers. See, it is running around 10 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Average height. 10 kilometers will be roughly 33,000 feet. So at that time something goes wrong. But at that time birds are not there. Birds will not be there at that height. Clouds will be there. But clouds will not spoil the aeroplane. Even lightning will not affect the aeroplane that much. But the turbulence, the air turbulence can affect the aeroplane very highly because sometimes, of course, I had an incident when I was traveling from Hyderabad to Chennai some 10 years back. It was a small flight, not a big one. It was not a Boeing flight, it was a small one. And immediately the announcement came from the cabin that whirlwind is there, the atmosphere is stormy, so please tie up your belt and be cautious. Immediately all of us put our belts, and we found that within 10 minutes, we were, oscillating like anything. I thought even the pilot may lose his control. It continued for 10-15 minutes. Luckily, after that, the air became calm, because by that time the plane would have gone away from that stormy area. It can happen. So that was not that high. Short aeroplanes travel at around 20,000 feet only, not 30, 35,000. Only Boeing and such things go above 30,000 normally. So this is one disaster which can happen. Turbulence in the air. It's called air turbulence. Turbulence means either whirlwind or tornado. These things can happen, and these things can even damage the flight. But at just above the earth, maximum danger is due to some towers, due to birds, etc. hitting. And sometimes landing, at the time of landing, even slipping of the levers are possible. Calicut Airport, there was a recent incident where the flight, Calicut Airport, is an elevated runway. Very rarely we have got elevated runway, because that is very dangerous. It's called box runway. The flight slipped away from the runway a bit, only a bit, and it broke into two. Luckily, all the people could escape. Nobody was killed, but many were burnt. This can happen. So this is about aviation disasters. Aviation disasters are very prominent mostly because air travelers are supposed to be highly influential people. That's the reason. Compared to any other, many of our well-known people have died in air crash. Subhash Chandra Bose is supposed to have died in air crash. Then our Vikram Sarabhai died in air crash. Many of our ministers, central ministers, died in air crash. And of course, the Mr. Reddy, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, he died in an air crash with a helicopter. Helicopter has got one more danger. Helicopter, while it is running at lower elevation, can hit mountains or trees or towers. That is also possible. So these are all air disasters. And air disasters mostly take away very influential people, because air travel is very costly even now. Though it has become very cheap, over the years air travel has become very cheap. Say for example, in the 90s when I was having my studies at Bombay, a trip from Bombay to Coimbatore will take 1.5 months salary. But right now, it won't even take even 1/20th of the salary. The salary, of course, would have changed, but the cost of air travel has decreased tremendously. The next point is disasters on highways. Highway disasters are very common. I am also a victim. That 4 years back, both my legs have been broken by a highway disaster, because I was traveling on the KK road. My vehicle was almost with 80 kilometer speed, 80 kilometer per hour. All of a sudden, another vehicle which was running on the opposite side, the driver slept and immediately its direction changed to my side. That is on the left side which I was traveling, and it had within 10 seconds it had a head-on collision with my car. Luckily, my driver didn't have any danger because he was holding the steering wheel. But I was not holding the steering wheel. In the impact, I moved forward, and both my legs were cut below the knee level. Very disastrous one. I couldn't move freely for months and months. So highways, this is one case. Highway accident is there, always there. Like what the Upanishad says, any moment your life is attached with accident, and that is a reality when you are on highway. It need not be necessarily that you are traveling very speedy. It can be the other vehicle. Say my brother-in-law met with an accident where his car was only 40 kilometers per hour, but the opposite person was coming around 100 kilometers per hour, and all of a sudden he changed the side by some mistake, and this was hit. So this can also happen. So highway is the most prominent accident maker compared to all these things. Anytime there can be accident, and of course our own care is not sufficient. But railroad accident is mostly happening because of 2-3 reasons. Anybody can tell me a recent railroad accident anywhere? Chelsea, can you tell me any railroad accident you know about?
Sir,
Yes.
because of
Pardon?
rain.
Yes.
Sir, because of rain.
Because of rain, it can happen. You are right. Because of rain, sometimes the embankment will flow away. That can happen. Even because of rain, sometimes, whirlwind can take away. You know that the Perinade accident, which has happened some decades back, it was at the time of a heavy rain. It is said that some movement would have been there on the bridge over which the train was traveling. So rain is one reason. Rain will affect the movement of the train as well as the visibility of the driver. Any other reason? Chelsea can tell me one more reason. One reason is right. The rain can be a reason. Any other reason?
Sir, slippery in the rail.
Slipperiness in the rail. Of course, that will be associated with the rain mostly. But another thing is not only slippery, damages in the rail. This can happen because train is having very high weight. You know how much will be the weight of even a single bogie will be having so much tonnage. How much is the weight of a car? Anybody knows how much is the weight of a car? Anyone knows? How much is the weight of a motorcycle? Many of you are having motorcycles and scooters. Anybody, how much is the weight of a motorcycle or a scooter? No idea. So your observation is very limited. Anyone having a two-wheeler at home? Deepthi D, are you having a two-wheeler at home?
Sir, ഉണ്ട്.
Yes, you are having. Any idea? Pardon? Who is riding? You are riding or your parents are riding?
Sir, ഞാനും റൈഡ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്.
Ride ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്.
weight അറിയില്ല.
Weight അറിയില്ലല്ലേ? അറിയണ്ടേ? How much is your weight?
48.
48. Compared to your weight, the vehicle weight is more or less?
More.
Yes, definitely. Most of the two-wheelers have weight varying between 50 kilogram and 200 kilogram. There are some special make ones which go up to 300 400 kilograms also. Earlier we used to have the Bullet as the heaviest one, but now some other brands have come which are more heavier. But what about the weight of a car? Diaz, are you having a car at home? Dia?
No, sir.
No. Any of your relatives are having a car?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So go and ask them how much is the weight of their car, because this is an information which you should have. When a car hits someone, you should know what is the impact of it. So you have no idea. Let me see whether some Ashok SK. Have you got a car at home? Yes, Ashok is having a car. Ashok, tell me, how much is the weight of your car? You are a car owner, either in your name or in parents' name. $600 to $700. Which car you are having? Your make? Which car you are having? Put your you are having WagonR. WagonR is more than that. WagonR is more. Because my daughter had a WagonR long back. Now she's having another one. But that time I purchased a WagonR and I sold it out. WagonR is around 800 kilogram. Okay? Check it. 1500 Sriram. Yes, 1500 kilogram cars are also there. Some makes of BMW are 1500 kilogram. Normally, the car weight varies from around 600 to 2000 kilogram normally. For example, I'm having a car, Fiesta, which is around 1250 kilogram. And another car which I have, a Skoda, is only 1200 kilogram. And I have got another car, Opel. Opel is having around 1500 kilogram. And Maruti normally has got 700 plus kilograms. Maruti is supposed to be one of the lightweight cars available. Anyway, that is for an information. And now railroad accident we have discussed, and maritime accident we told. maritime accident, we told that icebergs, the presence of iceberg can cause dangers. What are the other dangers to ships? Anybody? Iceberg is what?
failure.
Yes?
Equipment failure.
Yes. Megha, you are having somebody working in Navy?
Yes, sir, my brother.
That's why you know it. The most common disaster in ship is equipment failure, engine failure, or the other control equipments failure is very common. And the danger is, once it's happened in the midst of the sea, they are lost in the sea for days and days. Earlier days, they had to be lost in the sea for months together. But nowadays, they are having satellite communication system. They'll inform to the shore. Some speed ships will come and take them to the shore and anchor it over there. So, Megha can tell me some more cases where maritime disasters can occur. So, one is icebergs, other is equipment failure. Any other things?
Human errors.
Human errors, yes. Human errors are quite possible. That is why the different levels, the first level officers, second level officers, minimum number of years of experience is insisted in maritime travel. Whether it is a passenger ship or a mercantile ship, minimum number of years travel is, that is why they are paid very high. It's a very lucrative profession for electronics engineers and computer science engineers. After your BTech, you can become, you can become naval officers, or you can become merchant navy ship operators, and you can come up to the level of captain. Captain is the highest. Many of my students are working in navy and merchant navy as captains. Once in a while, when I see them, I'll talk to them about the life aboard and the travel and all. They enjoy it. Only thing is, those who like to stay away from home can enjoy it. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Okay. So Megha told two reasons. That is enough. One more thing is there. Fire is also there. Very rarely, fire also will havoc the ship. That is quite common. So we have discussed about the disasters in transportation. See the next slide. Then this is about the structural disasters. What do you mean by structural? Civil engineering disasters. Civil engineering disasters are two. One is by fires and other is by collapse. Both can also happen. Fire along with collapse also can happen. Can anybody give me an example of a collapse with fire in the history of civil engineering? Any huge structure collapsing with fire? Yes? Anyone? Anyone? Fatima Nasreen, can you tell me some world famous case where a structure has been hit by an aeroplane, it got fire and it collapsed? Fatima Nasreen, any idea? Yes, the Twin Tower. Okay. Fatima Nasreen is saying Twin Tower. You are right. Now there is no tower there. It's only, ground zero there. You are right. That building, the Twin Towers in US, it has been attacked by the terrorists. And Chelsea has written Trade Center. True, Trade Center is the Twin Tower. No problem. There, it was an aeroplane attack. They hijacked an aeroplane, and that aeroplane hit the tower. The tower withstood it because that tower was designed. That tower was designed for taking an aeroplane hit. But what happened is, after hitting, the aeroplane collapsed there and the fuel tank opened up. And the entire fuel was spilled on that building and the fuel caught fire. When the fuel gets fire, the concrete will soften when fire is there. Concrete, which is very hard, will soften like rubber. And you can see, if you see that Twin Tower collapse, the failure is almost like this. Tower is standing tall, it comes down like this. Because here it became a softer joint. Softening happened at this joint. So it's a combination of fire along with collapse. Collapse alone can also happen. For example, I still remember when I was a BTech student, our senior batch went for a tour to Bangalore at that time. That was in the late 70s. Our senior batch went for tour and they had their lunch from a hotel in Bangalore, and all of them got out. Within 5 minutes, that building, it was a 6-story building, I forgot the name of the building, all of a sudden collapsed. We were all concerned whether some of our students were in that collapsed building. Luckily, all of our students escaped. It was, say, 10 minutes before, they would also been caught. So many people died in that accident. It was a tall building. So collapse can happen anywhere. Nowadays, there's a stipulation. If a collapse happens, everybody is punishable. The structural designer, the contractor, the supervisor, the owner, everyone is punishable now. The rules have become stringent. But at that time, there was no such rule. Another case where fire alone can happen. This is very common. This is very common in buildings where fire alone will destroy the building inside. I don't know whether you have seen a film by name Towering Inferno. Anybody saw that film? Very old film, some 4 decades old film, Towering Inferno. It shows the incident of a tower, a huge tower getting fire. That's all. Anybody saw that film? Please put in the chat box. Anybody has seen that film, Towering Inferno? Nobody has seen? Maybe when I was a college student, that was a very epoch-making film. Everybody used to see that film. That's why I asked. Because this is a new generation, you may not have seen it. Okay. Whenever you get a chance, maybe at that time it was supposed to be a very high-tech film. But now technology has still improved. That may be why that film is outdated. Okay. So this is that. See the next slide. Anthropogenic or intentional hazards. What do you mean by anthropogenic? In my last class, I discussed about what is anthropogenic. Mariha is present here. Mariha is here. No, Mariha is absent. Last day, she answered so many questions. That is why I am asking her. Mariha is absent here. Mahalakshmi, can you tell me what do you mean by anthropogenic? Last class, I told what is anthropogenic. Mahalakshmi, can you hear me? Mahalakshmi is not here. Yes, you are here. So tell me what is anthropogenic, or put in the chat box what is anthropogenic. No idea? Sina Jacob, can you tell me what is anthropogenic? Sina. Yesterday class I was absent, sir. Mahalakshmi. Okay. Let us see, Sina. You should not be absent. That is why I asked these questions. Yes, Sina is very right. Sina is correct, so she is listening properly. Sina says it is caused by human beings. Yes, you are right. But you didn't Google, no? You told from memory or you Googled? Sina? You have taken from memory or you Googled it? From memory. Then I appreciate it. She has remembered. Anthropogenic means due to human origin. Human beings are causing it. That is why I told anthropology is a study of origin of human beings. Anthropogenic is human generated, human initiated. Mass shootings, terrorism, civil disobedience, weapons of mass destruction. That is the most dangerous one. Weapons of mass destruction. Which is the most powerful weapon of mass destruction? Anybody knows? Sona, can you tell me which is the most powerful weapon of mass destruction? Sarvanashathinu pattuna ettavum pattiya upakarnam edanu?
Nuclear weapons.
Pardon?
Nuclear weapons.
Nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs. You are right. Nuclear bombs. Yes. Sona is very right. Nuclear bombs. It is being told that there is a small suitcase with the US president, with the American president, which is called the black box. In that black box, there's a button. If that button is pressed, nuclear missiles will go to everywhere in this world. On this earth, 5 times it will burn the earth. See? 5 times it can burn the earth. So all the nations were afraid when Trump was the American president. Because a madman can do anything. And if a suitcase can destroy the earth, burn it 5 times, what will be the fate of human beings? The human civilization will vanish by that. So the most powerful weapon for mass destruction is atomic bombs. Atomic bombs are normally attached to missiles. Now long-range ballistic missiles are there. Even from America or from its ships aboard, all the continents on this world can be destroyed by ballistic missiles carrying atomic bombs. Atomic bombs are normally 2 types, fission bombs and fusion bombs. The bombs which worked in Hiroshima and Nagasaki were fission bombs, but more powerful are the fusion bombs. Say, for example, hydrogen bomb is a fusion bomb. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, how many people died? Any idea? Shibi, can you tell me Hiroshima and Nagasaki, how many people died? Shibi?
Sir, അറിയില്ല sir.
അറിയില്ല. എന്നാണ് അത് ഉണ്ടായെന്നറിയോ? ഹിരോഷിമ ആൻഡ് നാഗസാക്കി ബോംബിംഗ് എന്നായിരുന്നു എന്നറിയോ?
Second World War time.
Yes, at the end of Second World War. അതോടുകൂടിയാണ് Second World War തീർന്നത്. 1945 it happened. 1945 യുദ്ധം അവസാനിക്കാനുള്ള റീസൺ അതായിരുന്നു. ഹിരോഷിമയിലും നാഗസാക്കിയിലും 2 ലക്ഷം പേര് വെന്തു മരിച്ചു. Within seconds. Atomic bombs are like that. Within seconds, the temperature will rise to 10,000 degrees centigrade. What to do? You will be evaporating. 10,000 degrees centigrade, the human body will evaporate. What is the temperature of the fire in your kiln? നിങ്ങളുടെ അടുപ്പിലെ തീയുടെ ചൂട് എത്രയാണെന്നറിയോ? Anybody who cooks? Revadiyar, you know how much is the temperature of your kiln? അടുപ്പിലെ തീയുടെ ചൂട് എത്ര ഉണ്ടാവുമെന്നറിയോ? That blue flame will be more hot. എത്ര ഉണ്ടാവും? രേവതിക്ക് കുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ അറിയോ? Do you use gas cylinder?
Yes,
ഗ്യാസ് അടുപ്പല്ലേ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്? അതിൽ എത്ര ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ ഉണ്ടാവുന്ന വല്ല ഐഡിയ ഉണ്ടോ?
temperature.
അതിൽ കൈ പൊള്ളിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
Yes, sir.
കൈ പൊള്ളിയിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ. അതിൽ 300 to 600 ഡിഗ്രി സെന്റിഗ്രേഡ് ആണ് നോർമലി വരിക. അതിൽ കാണിച്ചാൽ തന്നെ എങ്ങനെയാവും? വാട്ട് വിൽ ബി യുവർ കണ്ടീഷൻ? സപ്പോസ് യുവർ ഹാൻഡ് ഈസ് ഷോൺ ഓൺ ദാറ്റ് ഫയർ, കരിഞ്ഞു പോവും. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
അപ്പൊ 10,000 ഡിഗ്രി എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഇമാജിൻ ചെയ്യാവോ? That too in a fraction of a second. That is what the atomic bombing will take. Fire like anything. Moreover, the radiations will come to your body. And all of a sudden, within seconds, 2 lakhs people died. Then the continuation effect is the radiation effect. Fire the effect immediate. Continuation effect is the radiation effect. Radiation effect in our body will be exposed to heavy radiation and your genes will undergo mutation and damage and cancer. Cancer is also a gene mutation. Cancer, obviously, you must be knowing that cancer can occur in different ways. Anybody knows what are the ways by which cancer occurs? Cancer nulla reasons endakkaanu aarkku ariyo? Ramya Vijaykumar, do you know any cancer patient? Cancer ulla aarengilu ariyo? Ramya Vijaykumar. Ramya is silent or absent? Ramya, please respond. Yes, you don't know anybody with cancer. Okay. Do you know what are the reasons for cancer? Cancer nulla reasons endannu ariyo? അറിയില്ല. രമ്യക്ക് ക്യാൻസറിനുള്ള റീസൺ കൂടി അറിയില്ല. ഷഹനാസ്, do you know the reason for cancer? Shahnas is not here. Shahnas, okay. Unnecessary cell growth. Yes. Unnecessary or distorted cell growth, that is cancer. A cancerous cell means an abnormal cell. Human body is having millions and millions of cells. When the cell grows abnormally, it is called cancer. And abnormal growth, and Sonia has written junk food, some chemical in food packets, etc. You are right. Cancer has got many reasons. Cancer, I am a lot of aware because my son is treating cancer patients. He is an oncologist. So cancer, so many reasons are there. No definite reason even oncologists cannot assign. One reason is some food items may cause cancer. Genetical reasons may be there. Some people genetically acquire cancer. Then some poisonous materials. If you are exposed to some insecticides, you can get cancer. Then another thing is a huge reason for cancer is exposure to atomic radiation. Yes, Sonia is saying that alcohol also can cause cancer. That I am not sure, Sonia. Maybe. Alcohol can damage your liver, can damage your heart, but I don't know whether alcohol causes cancer. Maybe, because the cancer study is still going on, whether alcohol can cause cancer. But anyway, alcohol is not good beyond a limit. Alcohol is not good for the Indian situation. Many of our youngsters don't know it. But it has come down compared to the period when I was a student. Alcohol consumption has come down drastically. I appreciate the young generation. When I was doing my engineering, in my class, except 2 people, all others were taking alcohol. See, either casual drinkers or regular drinkers. But now I'm seeing that among the youngsters, only half the people do take alcohol. So it's a better generation we are having now. I appreciate the youngsters. I always tell this point. Compared to the previous generation, our young generation is getting better only. They should not be accused so much. The only thing is they don't have that much care in studies. That is not their fault actually. Actually, when we were students, only very few selected went for higher studies. Very few selected means they were the toppers in the school and all. Others dropped at 10th or pre-degree level. But now everybody is going for higher studies, so we cannot expect the same standards as in those days for the students attending higher studies. It's a natural outcome. It's not that the children are bad. No, it is because their training, their bringing up may not have been the best, maybe average. So we have to bear with it. So what I'm saying is cancer can be caused by atomic radiation, which causes genetic mutation. Any atomic radiation, the most powerful waves are gamma rays and X-rays, beta rays. Alpha rays don't cause that much genetic mutation. Beta, gamma, delta, and X-rays are causing a lot of genetic mutation in the cells. So the cells will grow in a haphazard way. And it may affect the next generation also. For example, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, though only 2 lakhs people were killed, around 100 lakhs people are now affected by the effects of that radiation, either with cancer or with some genetical disorders. Even genetical disorder can happen. So weapons of mass destruction, especially atomic disasters, are very dangerous. Sometimes it may be unexpected, like what happened in Chernobyl. Chernobyl is a place in Russia, former USSR. In Chernobyl, one atomic power plant broke 2 decades back, and that radiation came up to India. See, and it was advised at that time, don't use butter coming from Europe. Why? Most of the European countries where the butter production is very high, their cattle were affected by the radiation from Chernobyl. That's the case. And now you know that close to Kanyakumari, there is an atomic power plant. If that power plant breaks, radiation effects will be there for 100 to 150 kilometers radius. So even Trivandrum and a part of Kollam district will be affected quite naturally. So we have to be very careful in dealing with radiation. Even doctors who are handling radioactive materials for radiation purpose, they are also susceptible to such range. Only thing is they are exposed only for the time when the radiation is released. Only some seconds it is released, or some milliseconds only. But whereas we have got a natural radiation in coastal region. From Ernakulam to Tirunelveli, a huge quantity of thorium is present in the ground. I belong to that region. I belong to the coastal region of Alappuzha, just very close to the sea. In our region and all, this thorium radiation is very high. That is why you see it is being told that the people at Kollam district have got a darker complexion because of the effect of this radiation. I don't know exactly whether it is true, but it is being told. It can happen. See the next slide. Mass shooting. Mass shooting is not that common in India because here guns are very less. But mass shooting is very common in USA. Even last week there was a mass shooting there. 5 people were killed 2 days back. Mass shooting is common in some European countries, in Australia. These places, you can easily get a gun. In India, in South India, you cannot easily get that gun. But in North India, it is possible. North India, you can buy a gun in the local markets. Anybody can buy a. So they use it for spreading, crimes related to religion, related to faith, etc. And in some areas, people create a reason for these crimes that is called hate crimes. Somebody will say, I hate this community. Another person will say, I hate the other community. Like that, community-wise hate is also very common. And when it becomes nationwide, India will hate Pakistan, Pakistan will hate India, and ultimately it happens in firing and the loss of lives of people who are involved in that. So this can happen like that. And of course, I feel that all this will lead to what is called disasters. Okay, see the next slide. Next one is what is called riot. R-I-O-T. Now you know one Kisan riot, farmers riot. What do you mean by riot? What you can say for riot in Malayalam? Riot in Malayalam endu parayan? Sri Lakshmi, yes. What you can say for riot? Malayalam riot endu parayan?
Kalabam.
Kalabam. That is the correct word. Kalabam is, Sonia has written Avagasham. Avagasham alla, Sri Lakshmi is correct. It is Kalabam. So labor rights, തൊഴിലാളികളുടെ കലാപം. Race riots, വർഗീയ കലാപം. Political riots, രാഷ്ട്രീയ കലാപം. Now what riot is going in Delhi? Around Delhi, what is the riot going there? ഇപ്പോൾ ഏത് riot ആണ് അവിടെ നടക്കുന്നത്? Ushmala, what riot is going on? Yes. Kirtana says labor. But Samina says farmers. Yes. Revati also says farmers. Yes. It is farmers' rights, Kisan right. Farmers' right. So all these rights ultimately end up in disaster. At that farmers' right location, so many people have died from cold condition. So many people have died from illness. This can happen. And some people died when they took out a march to Delhi also. On the Republic Day, these farmers were rioting. So it became political riot then. Farmers' riot turned out political riot and some people were killed in that. So most of the civil disobedience may end up in disasters. That is why we have got a disaster management group to take care of these riots. There are specially trained police to take care of riots because ordinary police will not be able to handle these riots. These riots are specific and like you see in some political oriented films, these riots do come up all of a sudden and may even surge up all of a sudden. People may be killed and its aftermath may be a long time activity like that. It can happen. So these are many ways. See the next slide. Terrorism. Terrorism is actually, nowadays, terrorism is mostly by religious fundamentalists, mostly. Earlier, racist terrorism was also there. For example, there is a very famous American novel by name Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. Anybody has read this? It was a very famous novel and it was made into film and so many awards that film got, Oscar awards. Anybody has read this novel, Gone with the Wind? By Margaret Mitchell, a lady. She has written only one novel and that became very world famous novel. Anybody has read this novel? Mark, you don't have a reading habit? I was just checking whether any readers are here. Gone with the Wind is a very famous novel by Margaret Mitchell, and in that the story is about the racial clash between the whites and the black and the Yankees and the Southerns. That means some of the white people in the USA joined the black people and fought against the North Americans. North Americans means Yankees. And that is the story of that novel. In that, the South American white people were standing with the Negroes, whereas the North American white people were a separate group. They formed a terrorist group by name Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Klan. And that was an example of a racist terrorist group. The first ever organized terrorist group was that. Then we had the Zionist movement. Then we had so many Muslim movements, and we have Hindu movements. Very many are there which are terrorist-like. What do you mean by terrorist movement? Believing in God and worshipping God is not terrorism. Believing in a religion is not terrorism. Terrorism is killing innocent people for the sake of their belief. That is terrorism. That is bad. No religion advocates that. No religion advocates killing innocent people. Whether it is Islam or whether it is Christianity, whether it is Judaism, whether it is Hinduism. So any person who kills his brethren for the sake of religion is a terrorist, not a believer. They are not believers, they are terrorists. They have to be brought before the law. But when the nation is having terrorism, for example, when the US imposed bans on Cuba, Cuba did terrorism to US. That was a retaliation. So that is a national level terrorism for the sake of existence. When Saddam Hussein was attacked, that US attacked Saddam Hussein. Iraq as a whole attacked back US. So it is actually a national terrorism or state-sponsored terrorism. Then there will be domestic terrorism also. Domestic terrorism in the sense, what is domestic terrorism? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by domestic terrorism? Kavya Kayar, can you tell me what is domestic terrorism? What is domestic terrorism? What do you say it in Malayalam? Anybody can say in Malayalam?
Gargiha Peedanam.
Garhika Peedanam, yes. Megha is right. You are good at Malayalam. Garhika Peedanam. What does it mean? Megha will explain to you. എന്താണ് അതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്?
Sir, പൊതുവെ മാരേജ് ലൈഫിൽ വൈഫ് അല്ല ഹസ്ബൻഡ് വൈഫിനെ ടോർച്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വൈഫ് ഹസ്ബൻഡിനെ ടോർച്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നു, സൺ മദറിനെ ടോർച്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നു, അങ്ങനെ ഫാമിലീസ് തമ്മിൽ ഉണ്ടാവുന്ന ക്ലാഷ്.
Right. So these are all basically called domestic violence or domestic terrorism. It's not advisable. Why all these things happen? I know in many houses there will be difference of opinion between the spouses. Difference of opinion between husband and wife. That is common in 99% houses in some cases, not always. But why it becomes terrorism? That is called intolerance. Wife പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കാൻ ഭർത്താവിന് സൗകര്യമില്ല, കേൾക്കണ്ട. Why should he attack the wife? That becomes a terrorism, or it is violence. Similarly, earlier days only husbands used to attack wives. Nowadays the condition is not like that. I know in many parts of even India, the wives also do attack husbands nowadays. That means when a person wants to impose his or her will on somebody else, this attack comes. And whoever is having more muscle power will win naturally. Muscle power alone may not be necessary, even intention also. I know that in some cases the women may not be having that muscle power, but women have killed men in some cases. So violence is not advisable, and all this violence comes mostly by intolerance. So most of the intentional anthropogenic terrorism is by intolerance. Megha, intolerance in Malayalam endu parayan? You are very good at Malayalam, that's why I am asking. Intolerance. കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ intolerance? Intolerance എന്ത് പറയാം? അറിയില്ല. Intolerance we call in Malayalam as അസഹിഷ്ണുത. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ? വേറൊരാളിനെ സഹിക്കാൻ പറ്റാതെ വരിക, മറ്റൊരാൾ പറയുന്നത് ഇഷ്ടമല്ല. It can happen in your class also. Why boys fight themselves among them or girls fight among themselves? Intolerance. When somebody is saying something, you cannot bear it. That is what is called intolerance. So patience is the panacea for all such domestic violence, and that is what we have to grow. I think this impatience or intolerance will be more in the youngsters. When you cross 50s, existential thoughts will come up in you. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഒരു 50-60 വയസ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞവര് അധികം അക്രമോത്സുകരല്ല, ആരോഗ്യമില്ലാഞ്ഞിട്ടൊന്നുമല്ല. But they feel that these are all meaningless. We have only one life, and living it comfortably, patiently is the best thing we can do. If you fight, when you fight, you develop some hormones in your body. When you are not fighting, you will have positive hormones in your body like oxytocin, dopamine, etc. When you don't fight, metformin. Metformin is what is called happiness. Dopamine and metformin are told as the happiness hormones. ഈ ഹോർമോൺസ് ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങൾ എക്സർസൈസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ ഉണ്ടാവും. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഡെയിലി ഒരു 1/2 മണിക്കൂർ 1 മണിക്കൂർ എക്സർസൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്നവർക്ക് ക്ഷമ കൂടുതലായിരിക്കും. So if any of you are impatient, I think some years back, somebody was telling me he gets angry immediately and he starts beating his wife. So I told him, when you get angry, you take a pickaxe and go to your backyard and do some work. Return to house after half an hour. All your anger will be gone. Why? When you work with pickaxe for half an hour, dopamine and metformin will form in your body without any medicine. Metformin is a medicine, but it will form in your body, and these two things will dilute your adrenaline. Adrenaline is the hormone which causes anger, impatience, unrestfulness. These are all caused by a hormone called adrenaline. This adrenaline will be more in youngsters compared to old age people, but very rarely old age people also have more. Every hormone will be less in old age people, but comparatively these hormones will be high in youngsters, and that is why you get angry. When adrenaline is in your body, you feel like hitting someone or shouting at somebody or doing some mischief. So to avoid adrenaline, it is better to do some physical exercise or even some food items which can quench the adrenaline. Say for example, fruits like banana can quench your anger. Milk can quench your anger. Some pulse items, കറുത്ത കടലയൊക്കെ കഴിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കുറച്ച് ക്ഷമ കൂടുതൽ കിട്ടും. So these things are advised to people who are more impatient. This is a life lesson for you. It's not meant basically for disaster management. It is for personal disaster management. Okay, see the next slide. Again, weapons of mass destruction, we have seen in the title. I told atomic weapons are the most, but chemical weapons, these are all nowadays used in warfare. Chemical weapons, and many of the aromatic compounds, if you smell, you may faint, can even kill you. So in war front, many chemicals are being used. Once I had a list of chemicals which are commonly used in war front. I forgot those things. Long back, when I was engaging a session for police people, I gave them a list of chemicals which can be used for attacking purpose, but not meant for people, because police and all sometimes may need chemicals for, even tear gas is the lightest chemical which we can use for quenching a mob. Then biological weapons are there. Biological weapons like, pandemic causing viruses. Even now people do doubt that COVID-19 has been spread as a warfare, as a viral warfare, or it's biological war. The nuclear radiological I have explained. See the next slide. Now we come to the, of course, I have completed the first part of module 1. Now we are going to the second part of module 1. That will be the next slide. Of course, we have got half an hour more to discuss the next slide. And I think you are not getting that much bored because I am asking some questions in between. There is a pedagogical rule that a brain cannot listen for more than 20 minutes. So that is why I frequently ask you questions and activate you, because your brain has to be alert. And though you are very young compared to me, your brain will have so many distractions. So many distractions in the sense, a distraction is good one way. Why? Because if you are having some distraction in between, you will not sleep. If you are listening without any distraction, you will sleep. So these techniques I used as a student. Whenever I am listening to a class for around 15-20 minutes, the brain get fatigued. Brain fatigue will happen. Fatigue means tiredness. So then think of something very attractive. Even think of some sites or some people or some incident. Immediately your brain will get activated. Then come back to the studies. This technique you can also use. You can have some pleasant memories with you. pleasant memories about an incident or a person or a situation, and these things you can remember. Just remember when you are getting tired, your brain will be activated because the neurons in brains will be excited by certain thought processes that can be done. Okay, now come back to the second part of your first module, that is on hazards, risk explanations, and vulnerability. All these things we'll discuss one by one. As I told, I'm going by the syllabus. 7 hours are meant for the first module, and of course 7 plus 7. So those 7 hours, I'll 7. I think all the modules are 7. It seems 6 into 7, 42. That is true. So this is our almost 4 hour over. So within 7 hours, I'll be completing that. Now we have been discussing a lot about disaster, hazards, etc. Now a definition is required for writing the examination. This you require for writing examination. What is a disaster? I am not that much keen on by-hearting definitions, but there is no other way other than by-hearting to remember the definition. So definitions you should by-heart. No other way, that is the reason. What is a disaster? I'll give such a definition for hazard also. A disaster is a serious disruption of the functioning of a community or a society, causing widespread human, material, economic, or environmental losses which exceed the ability of the affected community or society cope using its own resources. Simple ആയിട്ട് മനസ്സിലായി. A disaster is for a community or society, not for an individual. When it happens to an individual, we call it as a hazard. Got the point? Disaster is for a community or society. Community means what? Can you give an example of a community? For a community example, somebody please give me. Mariha has joined back. Mariha korayendara mungit ipo join cheyidirikana. Okay, Mariha, what is the meaning of a community? A community ennu parnal endha artham? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Endha community ennu parnal? Any example? She doesn't have thinking time, I think. Let me ask somebody else. Parayu.
ഇല്ല സർ അത് കറക്റ്റ് വേർഡ് എനിക്ക് കറക്റ്റ് മീനിങ് എനിക്ക്
കീർത്തന പറയുന്നു ഇറ്റ്സ് എ സോഷ്യൽ യൂണിറ്റ് എന്ന്. സോഷ്യൽ യൂണിറ്റ് ആണ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി. ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ട്രൂ. ബട്ട് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ഈസ് എ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഓഫ് പീപ്പിൾ വിത്ത് എ സ്പെസിഫിക് പർപ്പസ്. അതിനാണ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് those who just hold for a For example, the people who believe in Sathya Sai Baba as a prophet is a community. Sai Bhajan group or whatever it is. The people who says that they will go only to Ahilya hospital is a community. They have got a specific purpose. The people who say that I will work only in the Indian Army is a community. Got it? Then what is a society? A society is a general purpose group. Say for example, the people living in Ahilya can be classified as a community because they are all serving Ahilya. But what about the people in Kozhipara or in Kozhinyambara Panchayat? They are a society. Kozhinyambara Panchayathil Ahilya work cheyyunnavurundavum, BSNL work cheyyunnavurundavum, government work cheyyunnavurundavum, all category. Christians undavum, Muslims undavum, Hindus undavum, all categories. So society will have many cross sections. It is heterogeneous group. Whereas community will have homogeneity at least in one purpose. One purpose, homogeneity means uniqueness. One purpose pratyekatha undavum. Society anganeyalla. Society is, for example, society is having varied interest. Community ki chala karyangal varied interest undu, പക്ഷെ ഒരു കാര്യത്തിലെങ്കിലും single interest ഉണ്ടാവും. Okay, that is called a community. ഇനി കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിക്ക് 2-3 എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയാമോ? Sriram, can you tell me some examples for community? ഒന്ന് രണ്ട് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റീസിന് എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയൂ. I gave you 1 or 2 examples for a community. Please. Please give me an example for community. No example? Sriram, are you here? Sriram, can you hear me? Sriram is, yes. 1 plus community. Okay, you are right. 1 plus community. Okay, those who commonly have the 1 plus. Okay, then anyone else? Vishnu Prasad, can you give me an example of another community? Vishnu Prasad. No idea. പറയൂ വിഷ്ണു പ്രസാദ് ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി പറയൂ. Students of your class is a community. വിഷ്ണു പ്രസാദിന്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിലുള്ള കുട്ടികളെല്ലാം കൂടെ ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി അല്ലേ? You have one common purpose. What is the common purpose of students in your class? വിഷ്ണു പ്രസാദിന്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിലുള്ള കുട്ടികളുടെ common purpose എന്താണ്? Please tell me what is the common purpose of students in your class? പറയൂ. കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇട്ടാലും മതി. കോമൺ പർപ്പസ് എന്താണ്? നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സിലെ കുട്ടികളുടെ ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് വാണ്ട് ടു നോ വാട്ട് ഈസ് യുവർ പർപ്പസ്, ദാറ്റ്സ് ഓൾ. നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സിലെ കുട്ടികളുടെ കോമൺ പർപ്പസ് എന്താണ്? ലെറ്റ് മീ സീ. കോമൺ പർപ്പസ് ഒന്നുമില്ല. യു ആർ നോട്ട് ഹാവിംഗ് എനി കോമൺ പർപ്പസ്. Yes, Vishnu Prasad has posted. Same department, same subject, same teacher. That is not a purpose. It's a way. What is your purpose? Yes, Ashok has written learning. Or simply I can say to get an engineering degree. Learning is a modus operandi which you are choosing for getting a degree. Ultimately, you want to get a job. So, you are a community who want to get... Vishnu Prasad is in computer science or electronics? Okay, whichever branch it is, I forgot which branch he is. I'm having the entire list here. I can see that. What is this? Vishnu Prasad. Vishnu Prasad is in SATC. Okay, I want to check how many students are there in this group. Now only 42 people are there. Nandida, are you there? Nandida? Nandida, you are there, no? Nandita, can you hear me? Yes or no? Then Mariha, you can hear me, no?
Yes, sir.
I just want to take today's attendance. ഇപ്പോൾ 44 പേരുണ്ട്. ആരൊക്കെ ആബ്സെന്റ്? We actually have a good number of students attending this session. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ വിളിക്കുമ്പോൾ ആബ്സെന്റ് ആയവരുടെ പേര് മരിഹ ഒന്ന് നോട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് എനിക്ക് വാട്സാപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് തരണം കേട്ടോ. മൊത്തം നമുക്ക് 18 പേര്. 1, 2, 13, 14. We have got 19, 20, 21, 20 people are there in EC, and then I think around 28 people are there in computer science. So 2, 3 are absent. I just want to know who are the absent people because I just want to follow up that. ഞാൻ വിളിക്കുന്നവര് ഒന്ന് either say yes. ഞാൻ വിളിക്കുമ്പോൾ you either say yes in the chat box or you say yes by voice. Okay. Nandita is also there. Then Nandita, you can note down this because that is easy for me. Nandita, note it. I'll be calling the names one by one. I want to see who are the people absent today because I should have a record. Okay. Nandita can note down. For Aditya is present. Pardon? Nandita is noting down. Okay. Aditya M is present. Let me see whether Aditya M is there. Aditya M is there. Then Akshaya S.
Present, sir.
Akshaya S is there. Anupama S. Nair. Anupama is there. Anupama S. Nair. Yes, Anupama S is there. Then Adira Das. Adira Das. Adira is missing. Adira S is missing. Am I right? Adira S I am not seeing.
സർ മെസ്സേജിൽ അയച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് ആതിര.
ആദ്യം മെസ്സേജ് അയച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലേ, പിന്നെന്താ ഈ ലിസ്റ്റിൽ കാണാത്തത്? ഓക്കെ, ദ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ലിസ്റ്റ് ഷീസ് ഇൻ സം അതർ നെയിം. ഓക്കെ, ആതിര അക്ഷയ ഇസ് ദർ. ആതിര എന്താ മെസ്സേജ് അയച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്? കാണുന്നില്ലല്ലോ. ആതിരയുടെ മെസ്സേജ് കാണുന്നില്ല. അക്ഷയാണ്, ആതിരയല്ല. ആതിര ഈസ് ആബ്സെന്റ്. ആതിര DS is absent. Am I right? നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാം ഒന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്തല്ലോ ആതിര DS ഉണ്ടോന്ന്. ഷീ ഈസ് ആബ്സെന്റ്. Then Chelsea is present. I have seen her. Deepthi D is present. ഞാൻ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കുമ്പോൾ ദീപ്തി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. GCR ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിച്ചിരുന്നു. GC is here. Then Kavya.
Present, sir.
Then Megha K.
Present, sir.
Megha TR.
Present, sir.
Revati R.
Present, sir.
Samina.
Present, sir.
Then Shabna S. Shabna S ഉണ്ടോ? Shabna S ഇല്ല. Shabna is absent. Shabna ഉണ്ടോ നോക്കട്ടെ ലിസ്റ്റില്. Shabna is in the list. Shabna കാണുന്നില്ലല്ലോ. Shabna is absent. So Shabna is absent. Okay. Then Shabna S. Then Sneha P. Yes, present.
Present.
Ushmala B. Ushmala. Okay, Ushmala is present. Then Veena S. Yes, present. Vigneshwaran S. Vigneshwaran S is there. Present. He is present. Vishnupriya K is present. Rifas A. Rifas A is. Rifas undo. Rifas illa. Rifas is absent. Okay. Now coming to the computer science students. Ajay Prakash is present. I have
Present, sir.
Akash Shastri is present.
Present, sir.
Then Akshayar. Amit Mohandas.
Present, sir.
Anandu K.
Present, sir.
Ashok SK.
Present, sir.
Devaprasad V.
Present, sir.
Dia S.
Present, sir.
Fatima Nasreen.
Present, sir.
Gogula.
Present, sir.
Harikrishnan KP.
Present, sir.
Jaydev V.
Present, sir.
K. Deepthi.
Present, sir.
Kirti S. Kirti S. Kirti S is not here. Kirti. I've seen Kirti earlier, but now she's missing. So Kirti S is missing. Kirti S is missing. Then Kirtana. Kirtana is present. Then Mahalakshmi is present. Then Nawaz Sharif is absent or present? Nawaz Sharif I have seen earlier. And now he is there. Nawaz Sharif is absent now. Okay. So Nawaz Sharif is absent. Ramya Vijayakumar, she is present. Then Shahana Sai. Shahana Sai is present.
നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് ഇഷ്യൂ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, അതാണ് അവൾ ലെഫ്റ്റ് ആയത്.
ആര് ലെഫ്റ്റ് ആയത്? ഷഹനാസ് ഇപ്പോഴുണ്ട്,
പക്ഷെ അവൾക്ക് നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് ഇഷ്യൂ ഉണ്ട് പറയണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
But now join back. Sina Jacob.
Present, sir.
Sharfana Annam.
Present, sir.
Yes, she is present. Shibi L.
Present, sir.
Present. Sona VB.
Present, sir.
Sona VB. Present, no?
Present, sir.
Sona VB, what happened? It's not in the list. Yes, it is there. Sona VB. Then Sonia KS, present.
Sir.
Present. Sri Rashmi is present. Then Sri Rashmi Vinod is present. Sri Rashmi S is present. Sri Rashmi Vinod absent. Sri Lakshmi Vinod absent. Sri Ram S is present. Swadhika KV, yes, Sri Ram present. Swadhika KV present. Then Taksin is present.
sir.
And Tanvir Ansik, Tanvir is absent. Tanvir Ansik absent. Vishnu Prasad present.
Present, sir.
Vismaya R. Where is Vismaya? Vismaya is absent. Vismaya R absent. Then Mariha present. Then Mahindran is present. Mahindran was present in the last class, but this class he is absent. Okay. Mahindran is absent. Okay, so Nandita, you can please keep the list of absentees and give me after this class is over, because I just want to see how many students, because I want to follow up with them or their parents. Attendance is very essential. We cannot entertain anybody. Scoring marks in the examination is secondary, but attending the session is essential. That is why the university is particular about attendance. Okay. Now let us come back to the next slide. You had a break now by calling attendance and you are refreshed now. Am I right? Got some new energy? Everyone will be happy that they are present. And everyone will be concerned that somebody else is absent. Let it be. Now, I told the difference between disaster and hazard. Disaster definition I gave. Hazard definition I will give later. Another slide I will give the definition for hazard. Remember, hazard is individual. Disaster is common. Hazard is individual. Disaster is common. Disaster can be for a community. Disaster need not be for human beings. Disaster can be for any community. Disaster for monkeys. Disaster for lizards. Disaster for a forest. It's all possible. Whereas hazard is for an individual. Like there was a question. Somebody asked me this question long back when I was a student. You are walking in a dense forest and lion appears immediately in front of you. Is it a disaster or a hazard? Mariha, is it a disaster or a hazard? You are in a dense forest, all of a sudden, a lion coming in, facing you. Mariha is not here. After attendance, she has left. Mariha is here. Kirtana. Kirtana has messaged it is a hazard. I agree fully with you. Okay, let me ask a question out of syllabus. If such a situation happens, what you will do? Because I came across such a situation last year. I was moving by the Kanjikot-Malambida road in the evening. All of a sudden, we have seen a herd of elephants crossing the road. Herd of elephants crossing the road around 500 meters away. I could see from far distance. It's a hazard. If we go immediately, the elephants will turn against us, and I am not in a physical condition to run. My driver was enthusiastic. He wanted to go a bit forward and see what the elephants are doing. But I prevented because he can run away. I cannot. I have a limping leg. So I told him to take back and return by another route. We then went by the national highway route. So that is one situation. So like that, if this question was long back asked to me by a lady in a training program. She asked the question, you are in a dense forest, a lion comes in front of you all of a sudden, unexpected. What you will do? Can anybody tell me the answer? Sri Lakshmi, can you give me the answer? Sri Lakshmi is here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What you will do?
I'll try to be calm.
You'll try to be calm. Okay. Do you think that that will save you?
No, but I'll try to hide if possible.
Okay. You will not get, because lion is very fast and its muscle power is also high. So you will not have to do anything. The remaining will be done by the lion. Over. That is the answer for the question. Anyway, it is a funny answer. This question and answer that we were having a training. I think in 1984, I attended a teacher's training at NDT Chennai. The trainer was a lady from Canada. One lady, her name was Smith. So Miss Smith asked this question, and she also told the answer. Got the answer now? This is a funny question. You can ask somebody later. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted you to relax a bit. That's why I told the story. So there are situations like this where it's a hazard for us, not a disaster. It's a hazard. Okay. Then what are the elements of disaster? Disaster, I told, it's for a community or for a society. What are the elements of the disaster? A disaster can be a fire. Disaster can be a viral attack. Disaster, of course, I am adding one more lesson to you. I was talking about lion or elephant. When you are in a forest area and you are in a vehicle and you are seeing all of a sudden a tiger or lion is coming, never get out of the vehicle. This is a lesson for you, because the lion or the tiger takes that vehicle as a living organism, as a being. If you jump out of that vehicle, they will see that a small organism is going out. A small living organism is going out, they'll attack you. But if you are inside a car or a jeep, they feel that that car or jeep is itself a living organism, much bigger than them. They will not attack you. So keep in mind. But elephant also, if possible, it will avoid the car or lorry, because it feels it's a big organism. It may fight with it. Okay. So maybe domestic elephants will not do that. Domestic elephants, no, it's a vehicle. But the wild elephants will be seeing the car only, maybe rarely. So they feel that that is also a living organism like the human being. So if you are in the forest and if you are inside a vehicle, a wild animal is coming and you feel that it may attack you, never get out of your vehicle. It's a safety mechanism. I think first class I told you what is the safety mechanism against electric shock. Anybody remembers that? Shibi, what is a safety mechanism against electric shock? Sir, life lessons. Shibi, can you tell me? I just want to see whether you learned that.
Sir, absent first class.
Absent first class. Revati was present in the first class. Revati R.
Yes, sir.
First class electric shock varadirikan shrathikanda point endannu. What is that? You remember it? Orgunundo?
No, sir.
Or you forgot it? Anybody remembers? I'm checking your collective remembrance. Anybody remembers what is the safety mechanism against electric shock when you are touching something?
Touch the device with backside of your hand.
Yes, Aditya is remembering. Great. Don't touch like this, because when electric shock comes, the muscles will shrink and your hand will be attached to that shock point. Touch with like this only, with your backside, so that when the shock comes, the muscles will shrink and your hand will be separated from the shock. Always keep this in mind. Similarly, the second lesson I have told for your life, if you are in a dense forest, it can happen. It can happen many times. For example, last time when I was traveling from Mysore to Palakkad back, I was coming to the reserved forest. So I told my driver, if at all an animal is seen sideways, don't stop the vehicle, you go along. But if an animal is coming in front of you, stop it, don't switch off it. Stop it, don't switch off it and wait there. Because when it is working, the animal will move away. But if it is silent, may not be the animal will have the patience to see whether something is live inside or whether something is, they'll wait for it. That can happen. Okay. So this is exemption is only for elephant, because some elephants know that vehicles are conveyance for human beings. Other animals are not aware of it. Okay. Keep this life-saving knowledge which you should have. Now come to the elements of disaster. What are the elements of disaster? It can disrupt the functioning of a community. For example, fire comes, or a storm comes, or a tornado comes, an entire area will be blocked. Say an entire panchayat or an entire system may get blocked. Then widespread human, material, and economic losses will be there. Any disaster for that matter is a loss. Whether it's a fire or a flood or it's a storm, it ultimately has huge loss. Loss of mankind, loss of flora and fauna, loss of resources, all these things will be there, and even loss of environment. And it will not be easy for us to cope up with that loss immediately. You know that when we have a huge loss, the community will take years and years to make it up that. We had the biggest flood in 2018. Even today, people are unable to make up that losses. Many people lost their livelihood. Many people lost their farmlands. Many people lost their jobs. It's very difficult to make up within 2 years. It may take years and years. Take another case. Now the pandemic, COVID has come. The World Economic Forum has predicted that it will take around 20 years for the human beings to come back from the impact of COVID. See, 20 years is a long period. 20 years is almost 2 generations ahead. Nowadays, a generation is only 10 to 15 years. By that time, the generation change takes place. And then community resources will be made inadequate. Whatever resources you are having right now, a disaster will take away many of your resources. For example, when the flood came in Chennai, many of the people who owned cars couldn't use that car again. They sold it at throwaway prices because it cannot be reused. And Coimbatore and all, you used to get Benz car and BMW cars at 5 to 10 lakhs rupees because these cars were damaged in the flood and people couldn't use it properly thereafter. A car which was badly hit in the flood can go wrong anytime. And people who are rich enough to afford BMW and Benz, they don't want their car to be laid down on the road. So they sold it off. So community resources also can be lost like anything. See the next slide. I think with this slide, we will stop our discussion with the next slide. Understanding a disaster is very necessary. If you understand the disaster, it is half overtaken. Like the old saying, well begun is half done. I think I told you about the tsunami being announced by a small boy on the beach, which could save thousands of people on the beach. That small boy, I think it was in Hong Kong beach, that boy announced that tsunami is coming. He has read or seen some videos somewhere of a tsunami, and he immediately remembered that it is similar to that incident. So he loudly announced, tsunami is coming, escape. And I remember a story written by Saul Bellow. Saul Bellow, have you heard? Saul Bellow, she was a vociferous writer, has written so many novels, many prominent novels. In one story written by Saul Bellow, it's an autobiographical story. She is saying that once she was staying in a hotel in Japan. She was in the 5th floor, it seems, 4th or 5th floor. Then all of a sudden, an announcement came, tsunami is coming, climb to the top floor. Everyone climb to the top floor. Tsunami will reach within 10 minutes. The meteorological prediction is there. Then Saul Bellow says she immediately ran to the lift. She got to the top floor. And from the top floor, that building is built such that it is made by steel and timber. It can withstand a tsunami. That is a peculiarity of construction in Japan. In Japan, all the sea-coast buildings are made with timber and steel. No tsunami, no flood will devastate them. They will remain, and they are so well anchored so that they will not be taken away by the floods. Only thing is, flood will do the damage, but the building will not be taken away. Those who are staying in the building, especially in the top floors, they are secure. So Saul Bellow says this incident, it happened, she went to the top floor and she was secured. And she says, Japan has got such a system, this is around 40 years back, but US doesn't have a system even then. Even last year, when small tsunamis affected, California area was immersed. So it can happen. That's what I'm saying. Tsunami warning, if you have got. Now, Keralites also know what is a tsunami. If you get a warning, immediately you know that you have to escape to places where it is high elevation or water will not enter. That can happen. then the conditions of vulnerability that are present also must be known. What can happen if such a disaster occurs? I think in last class I told you, if an earthquake of intensity 7 or above is coming, almost 50% of the houses in Palakkad will be demolished. Even my own house at Agatatra, I know, cannot withstand almost 7.5 or above Richter scale earthquake, because it is, a load-bearing frame construction, load-bearing wall-type construction, not a framed construction. But RCC framed construction may withstand up to 8.5, sometimes up to 9. So if you know that this area is vulnerable to earthquake, you should definitely go for an earthquake-resistant construction. There came an earthquake in a place called Latur. Latur is a village in Maharashtra. Some 2 decades back, there came a huge earthquake in Latur. Many people died. The reason for death was very simple. All these people were having small houses, which they call as challa. C-H-A-L-A, challa they call, C-H-A-L-L-A, challa they call in local language. It's not English word. These challas were having the roof made of stone sheets, Kadapa stone sheets, very heavy stone sheets. That is a cheap material. You easily get in Latur area, or in Kadapa is very close to Latur. So their roof was made of stone sheets of Kadapa. And these stone sheets were kept above bamboo pieces, lightweight bamboo pieces. When the earthquake came, people were sleeping. It was in the early morning. Early morning when the earthquake came, most of the people were sleeping inside their house. And when the earthquake comes, it will shake. Earthquake has got 2 types of movement. One is shaking movement and one is thumping movement. This is called horizontal acceleration. This is called vertical acceleration. Both will happen. So this thumping and shaking brought down the roof material to the people below it. Most of the people who are sleeping in the houses, they died. And that is an example. But if after that, Latur, so many houses constructed. We also constructed. Kerala State Nirmani Kendram, which I am the advisor, we also constructed houses in Latur after the earthquake, but it is constructed as earthquake proof. With a very lightweight only we have constructed. The roof is very light now. Roof is made mostly of ferro cement, which is a very light material, and even the roof is made like this. Even if earthquake happens again, the roof will slide like this and happen like this, so that people can still live inside that roof. That is how it is designed. See, it can be designed like that. So I am saying that if we know what is a potential danger, this is a civil engineering aspect I told, we can survive the danger, and that is a need for you engineers. You should know whether it's a computer science engineer or whether it is an electronics engineer. You should know in times of disaster how you can save the human life, because people depend on engineers for saving their lives in groups. People depend on doctors for saving individual life. A doctor commits a mistake, only one life is gone. An engineer commits a mistake, huge numbers, scores of lives will be lost. So beware of this aspect. That is why this paper is offered to you. Thank you very much. Any questions? Now 1 more minute is, time is over. So if there is any questions, you can ask next class. Okay. Thank you very much. Our time is over. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you, sir.